Well, hello, Morency. So today we're going to be looking at a catapult, I think. Now there are actually about 2-3 different types of catapults. The two that usually come to mind are a torsion catapult, and I am butchering these. I should really look this stuff up online. The spellings. So we have a torsion catapult and a trebuchet. And I'm not even going to try that one. Let's see here. So trebuchet is spelled trebuchet. So this is called a trebuchet, and basically these two are built a bit differently. So we have the torsion. The torsion has a big base like here, and then down here there's usually some rope or something that's been twisted around extremely tightly, so it actually has a spring-like quality. And then it's got an arm over here with a cup, and you load your ammo in here, and it goes flying this way into this bar and stops, and everything keeps going in general this way direction. So this is a torsion style catapult. And then you have a trebuchet, which is a bit different. The rotation point is up here, and it's got a big arm on it with a weight. And over here is a sling, and as the weight comes down, the sling goes up, and at the apex of the shot, the ammo goes flying off. And this is a much larger type of catapult. This is what would be called well, they're both siege engines. This is going to throw a much larger rock than this thing will. This is more of an anti-personnel type thing. This is an anti-wall thing. Either way, though, we're going to go ahead and try and design one. So let's start with the torsion catapult, because I think this is the one that we could build on a desktop scale and get away with it. So our catapult is going to need a good base on it to resist the forces generated by our rubber bands. So we're going to have a nice big base. And, you know, I was thinking of doing this out of like 2x2s or something similar, just because we're going to make it desktop size. This is a little catapult, little catapults. This would be a good project to pull out our wood jointery skills and, you know, try and come up with something a little bit special here. This is a project that would benefit from having really good interlocking wood joints, because it's going to see a lot of rapid, violent forces applied to it. So we want something that's going to be able to do the job. I should switch over to this here. There we go. All right, so this is the base of our catapult. You notice I did not put anything down here. What we do here is we suspend some rubber bands, or we could even do ropes or something across here, and our arm of the catapult sticks into this bundle and is twisted around and twisted around until it's tight. So let's go ahead and start putting in our labels. rubber bands. A dowel. I'll make this out of 2x2s. If I go down to Home Depot right now, they're going to have some really nice ones that are really good and straight. I was actually really surprised. Now, chances are those are going to be gone the next time I'm down in that area, but you know, I might get lucky. And you're usually able to dig through the pile there and find something that's usable. So 2x2s, and we've got our dowel. And at the end of this, we can either have a sling, as in the old style slings, where you take a rock and put in your sling and swing it around your head and release it, and that works. Or you could just have a cup, and our cup could be made out of, well, lots of different things, really. I've used metal measuring cups. You could turn something on a lathe or carve something out. We could make a little box. All sorts of different options for this cup. All right. I also want to take a quick look at this section right here and this section right here. So let's pull those out and do a detail view. So what I think is going to work best for this type of structure is if we come in and do some of these wood joints here. So we're going to have our big long support arm here, and it is going to end in this sort of C looking structure, and this is going to be called a mortise and tenon, and our tenon is going to be on this piece right here, and it is going to have it's going to look, I drew this wrong, don't ignore that. Basically, we're going to have this piece right here, and it's going to slot itself into here. And we could actually drill a hole through all this and drop a pin through everything. Along with the glue, this is not going to move at all. And it's going to be really good and strong when it has to face the forces that we're going to put on it. So this would be a really good way of doing things. This is a mortise and tenon. Let's get the spelling up here for that. Mortise and tenon. And you know, we're going to probably do the same thing over here. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging to do. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to cut into our piece of wood, into the center of it, a channel. Just like this. And then our tenon is going to fall into it. So let's see if I can get this sketched out. There we go. So this piece drops into that piece, and again, we could potentially drill a hole through this and put a dowel, and that would do a really good job of holding things together. If we do these mortise and tenon joints here on these sections here, or basically all throughout this whole thing, this is going to be an incredibly strong piece of woodworking, and it should hold up to the forces involved. Now, as far as this section right here is concerned, there are a couple different ways. I'm not entirely sure if rubber bands are going to work for a torsion bar. So if that doesn't work, we could also suspend a little hook from this area right here and have a hook or a little D-ring right here and run a rubber band between these two. Now obviously we'd stretch it out when we're loading, and then when we fire, we release it, and the rubber band snaps forward and launches the payload. And so I think that might work as well. So here are a couple different options. This would also work out pretty good for welding. Here we don't need to, with welding, you don't need to worry about the Morrison tenon joints as much, but everything will need to have really good strong welds on it. For something like that, we would want to use a really good rubber band, maybe one of those black tie-downy straps that have the two hooks on the ends. That'd be a really good, strong rubber band for this thing to be powered off of. Anyway, my name is Mr. Hilpert, and I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe in this general area. Watch other videos over here, and of course leave your comments and suggestions of things I should draw later in the section below. Have a great day!